Well, I was born in Natchez, Mississippi, and Jeff Davis Memorial Hospital. I still remember my mama telling me that. And we moved from Natchez to Hattiesburg when I was right about 4. And then from there we moved up to Seminary, Mississippi, which is in Covington County, about 15 miles north of Hattiesburg. My dad was a minister, and just went everywhere the church called him to go, and grew up there. Spent my childhood in Mississippi, graduated seminary high school in '89, and then a couple of years later I went in the Air Force. So growing up as the son of a Southern Baptist preacher in Mississippi was pretty interesting. Being the PK, preacher's kid all my life, I seemed to be judged more than my dad was. Well, you're a preacher's kid, you shouldn't do that. And I'm like, hey, I learned all my bad habits from the deacon's kids. So it was pretty interesting. It wasn't bad, but it definitely gave me a foundation on how I carry my life now. Growing up in rural Mississippi in the 70s, 80s was incredible. I lived out in the woods all summer. It'd be dark. My mom would, only time I'd come home was when I was hungry, or when it got so dark and my mom would start yelling for me. But it was great because we grew up riding bicycles, no helmets, flip-flops and T-shirts and shorts. That was the uniform of the day back in then, and going hunting, fishing, I loved it. I miss it. I came in, my military career started in 1991, and I joined the Air Force, did all my basic training, all my technical training, and got stationed at Northeast Mississippi in Columbus Air Force Base. So it was nice. I was only 3 hours from home, so I was able to go home on long weekends and see my family. But I worked there in an emergency room for roughly about 3.5 years, and I said, I want to do more. I want to do more. And finally, a special duty assignment came open with the first active duty tactical aeromedical evacuation unit in the Air Force, the only active duty Air Force unit like that in its existence during the time, up at Pope Air Force Base, went down on as Pope Field up at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And so we supported the 82nd Airborne Special Operations community up there, and their air evac mission, and getting sick and injured soldiers out of bad areas back to the hospitals, stateside, or even further back out of the theater. And did that I was a flight medic up there for a few years, and they said, hey, do you want to go to jump school? So I got to go to jump school at Fort Benning with the Army, so that was kind of cool. Threw me out of airplanes for a living, freaked my mom out, but it was all right. I had perfect landings, feet, butt, head. But I did that for a few years, got deployed quite a bit, and then my life I said, hey, I want to take another turn and try something else, and took another special duty assignment to Maxwell Air Force Base in Montgomery, Alabama, and finished up my active duty term there as an instructor at Officer Training School, teaching the Medical Readiness Indoctrination course. And so I would teach multiple officers, newly commissioned officers every year. So that was fun. I had a good time doing that. But yeah, she definitely reminds me that she outranks me on a daily basis. If I hear sergeant, then I know I'm in trouble. Hot sauce. Hot sauce is my best friend. Sorry. Hot sauce, Lynn, my better half, my business partner, my wingman, she flies top cover for me, provides overwatch, as it were. She and I have been together for 15 years now, and she's been an integral part of the business. Hot sauce, I'll let her explain how she got the name Hot Sauce to you at some point in time off camera. But no, she likes hot sauce. But she and I met actually in Montgomery, Alabama, and we were both paramedic partners together, which was kind of cool. She had had a career as an Air Force comm officer, and so we rode on ambulance quite a bit and had some adventures. And she's the one behind the scenes, and she's the one that's kept us. She's the glue that holds everything together. As in most situations, the woman, my wife, she's the strong one, saying, all right, you need to do this, don't do this. But she provides all the support we need.